What's up everybody, Clarence Isle back with another Fortnite Battle Royale video. In today's video, I'm going to show you a 9-kill victory royale where I took 0 damage. Plus, we're going to talk about this week's patch. Welcome back everybody. I am making my return to YouTube, going to be uploading content regularly again. I was getting a little bit burnt out on Fortnite back in Season 4, but I'm back. I'm going to be playing more. I'm going to be creating more content, so here we are. Landing here at Lazy Links, one of my new favorite spots to land. I know there's not, a ton of loot here, but overall I just really enjoy fighting here. I like the different building styles. I like the fact that there's loot sort of scattered around. The big problem with landing here is not a lot of good rotations. There's not a lot of places to go after here. You've got some options, but they're not really good options. You could go over to the motel, you could head to loot, you could head over to tomato. A lot of the times my crew and I, or me if I'm by myself, I don't do it in this game, but I'll head over to that statue with the rifts over at tomato, try to get a rift and get out of here. I got a really interesting start to this game. I landed on 2 weapons and they were both revolvers, which is a weapon I never play with. You can see I don't think I hit a single shot with him. I think the guy in the house that I'm at now, the guy that I took the grenade launcher from, I believe he killed himself with the grenade launcher. So it's mine now. I tried to get this drift with the grenade launcher and I ended up hitting the hitbox of the tree, which is always a real bummer. But basically, since I don't have any really good weapons that I'm even somewhat competent with, I'm just kind of skirting around the edge of this map. I don't want to push into the middle. I just kind of running around, trying to find an angle, and I'm trying to chase this drift guy. He was running from me, so I had a feeling maybe he was either like low on health or just maybe wasn't a great player. And here, I thought he was in this building, so I'm trying to bait him out here, trying to get him to run around so I can and try and get a shot on him. But I ended up not being able to find him right here. I decided to keep pushing around, and these tennis courts is actually not a bad spot for loot. There's a few floor spawns, and you'll see here that I'm able to grab something automatic, something that I can actually use personally, and I end up finding minis and a big pot. So I'm going to kind of rearrange. I'm going to take these shields and get up to full shields, and then I'm going to start making some moves. I hear some action. I see some guys fighting on the roof of the main building here in Links. And instead of running straight at them, I'm going to run to the side of this building, and then I'm going to ramp right here onto the very top. So I have height advantage over him. I knew this guy was going to be weak, so I knew he was going to go down pretty quickly. I felt pretty good, actually really good, kind of third partying that setup. Now you're going to see me drop the grenade launcher for the C4 here. That's because a grenade launcher with no ammo in it is not very useful for a little while. You saw that I did pick up 2 rockets here, but that's still, only 2 grenades that I can shoot. And the chances that I'll come across another grenade launcher, between now and the end game is pretty good, not too bad. So I would rather have something like the C4 that I can use now, rather than wait until I try and find more rockets and kind of, only have a couple. And you really want to, use explosives and carry explosives in your loadout right now in this Season 5 meta. It just does so much damage to structures. You really might be hurting yourself in the end game if you don't have, at least some sort of grenades. Now, the rest of my loadout, I'm probably not going to mess with most of the time. I like to rock the AR for the medium range, and then that shotgun, SMG, or shotgun Tommy gun combo. Run with the Tommy gun if you can. It's probably the most powerful weapon in the game right now with those 50 plus damage headshots. A lot of people will run SMG in this place, and that's totally cool. I think that makes sense. With the P90 nerf, that's a little less strong than it used to be, so I haven't really been picking up the P90s. But the rest of my loadout is going to be a healing component, bandages, shields, and explosives. And if I don't have explosives, I'll probably grab 2 healing items, especially the slurps now that they're back and they're buffed. The slurps are really great. Carrying 2 of those is better than carrying minis. With that said, I will carry a hunting rifle because it's a little less long range and really fits a lot better in that medium range engagement. I can get a hunting rifle shot off and then follow it up with the AR for pretty good damage. So I mentioned earlier the rotations out of links are a little weird. You can see right there in my minimap that I've got a really long way to go, and I'm traveling over my least favorite part of the map. It's through here in between Tomato, Loot Lake, Dusty. A lot of me and my crew really refer to this as the Death Valley because it's just wide open. There's so many places for people to be. There's a lot of high ground opportunity. But one thing I really like about Season 5 are the rifts, and it's really important for you to know where the rifts are, to be able to spot them from a distance, or at least try to. So I spot one up at this statue over by Dusty, and I know that I'm going to need this to get out. I have no bandages, no med kits, no campfires, so I need to get to the new zone, not necessarily quickly, but I want to start heading that way. I've got a long run, so I'm going to take advantage of these rifts and get over there. Whenever I grab a rift, I start heading in the direction of the new zone, but I'm always scoping for enemies. The meta of this season is third partying a player, and what that means is you become the third person in somebody else's gunfight. You'll see right here that this guy had no idea I was coming. He was engaged with another player, and I just swooped in on his back, put one of the heavy shots on him, followed it up with the Tommy, just like I mentioned earlier. This is that ideal loadout for that situation. You see, I was a little hesitant there. I wasn't quite sure if he had eliminated this guy, but when I jump on the Port-a-Fort, you see that I go ahead and put my own floor right over the tower or the column here, and you see that he actually runs in and starts bouncing on the tires and realizes he can't come up. So I was able to block him from that, which forces him back on the ground, and then he starts to run away. He definitely made a mistake there. He probably should have figured out maybe another way to approach that, but that was going to be an easy kill, and it was all because of that rift, because I was paying attention instead of just going straight for the new zone. I knew I had time to get involved in somebody else's fight and pick up an extra couple kills. So let's talk a little bit about today's patch. We did get a new weapon, that double barrel sawed-off shotgun, and I have to say that I am enjoying it. It is, though, a very close quarter weapon. It has a ton of damage fall off, so I mean, if you're even more than one floor or like one square away from somebody, it does not do really anything near its potential damage. And the other downside is that it's only 2 shots with a long reload time. But I have been picking it up as my shotgun, and like I said, I've been really enjoying those really close engagements, getting really right up in my opponent's face, and that weapon is really good for it. I am very disappointed, though, to not see any shotgun buffs or explosive nerfs in this patch. I think one of the biggest things Fortnite needs right now is a nerf to explosive damage to structures. I've had a few games just today even where my entire structure was taken down with one rocket from super far away. Just not a very high skill weapon. I really am glad that they decided to nerf the amount of rocket ammunition you can carry, but I still don't think it was enough. So you see me swoop over here really early. The new circle has just shown up. But one thing I've learned in this Season 5 patch is really the advantage of positioning whenever these storms shift outside of the current zone. I had a lot of fights where I didn't get that early position, and people have built up and really had the advantage over me. So I knew that I could see in the mini map that the edge of that little mountain was right there. So I wanted to go ahead, get over there, get set up. There's only a few people left. I had a extra launch pad, so I knew that I could use it to get over there. I wanted to go ahead and get set up because I have had a bunch of materials. I wanted to just build a fort and let the rest of the players come to me, which is definitely a good strategy here in Season 5. So the storm is about to shift again, and this positioning is really paying off. I thought that these two players were going to eliminate each other before they got over here, but I guess they didn't. But I was able to put some nice grenades down there and get one elimination out of the 2. But you can see the advantage that I'm at right now. There's a cliff. There's just a ton of low ground here. I'm not sure where this last player is at, but I know one thing is that he's underneath me. He's not above me, so I'm really confident in what I'm able to do from this high ground. Now the circle is starting to move, and with this new circle shift, you've really got to move with the storm. I can see him building underneath me, so I'm sort of maintaining that high ground while just trying to follow his location, trying to shoot out where I can. And then I realized that I could launch out of here and go grab the high ground, kind of get past him a little bit. And it was really perfect, really serendipity that this edge is right here. So once again, I've got this great position on him, just firing right down on him, take all of his shields off. And, this is really the Season 5 spam meta here. He's able to turbo build. I'm trying to sneak shots in when I can, but he's fully in defensive mode now. And it's at this point that I decide, this really isn't working. This distance with this turbo building and AR spam really isn't working. So I get up close. I do miss a couple of my heavy shots, but follow him up with that Tommy and get that 54 headshot on him for the victory. It's not always easy on console. I'm sure you see big streamers switching their weapons often, but on console, on Xbox or on PS4, if you can learn to switch between your shotgun and your Tommy or your SMG quickly, you're going to get a lot more kills. Here's the stats. You can see I got 9 kills, 0 damage taken. Not great accuracy, but it is what it is. I was able to make it through 96 other players to get a victory royale and not take a single bit of damage, even though I was basically on the other side of the map from where I am now. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave it a like and start looking out for more content.